In this video, we discuss the concept of an isotope. Alright, in the prior video, we have discovered the fundamental particles that compose an atom. Those are protons, neutrons, and electrons. And we have determined what is it that we need in order to specify completely a particular atom. Okay, and that is the atomic number, the mass number, and the atomic symbol. Now, it turns out that some elements might have more than one isotope. And the difference between isotopes is just in the mass number, but not in the atomic number. Okay, so for example, carbon has two naturally occurring isotopes in addition to what we call carbon-12. There's such thing as an atom of carbon-13 and an atom of carbon-14. Okay? Notice that these isotopes are actually distinguished by the difference in the mass number. Okay, but importantly, the atomic number is exactly the same. Right, so you have here 6 and 6. Right, so this further reinforces the idea that what is important to determine what element you're talking about is the atomic number, okay, the number of protons. That is the distinguishing element between various elements in the periodic table. Okay, but again, the same element might have different atoms which differ by the mass number. Now, because the number of protons is the same in these isotopes, but the mass number is different, then the difference between the isotopes must be in the number of neutrons. Okay, so there is exactly the difference between carbon-12, carbon-13, and carbon-14. And the difference between them is that carbon-12 only has 6 neutrons, carbon-13 has 7 neutrons, and then carbon-14 has 8 neutrons. All of them will have 6 protons. And then, because all of them seem to be neutral, the way that we have written them, then they will also have 6 electrons. Okay? Now, what are the differences in terms of properties or things that we can appreciate from isotopes? Well, the reactivity of different isotopes of the same element is very similar, right? So compounds that carbon-12 can form will also be formed by carbon-13 and carbon-14. Okay, they all are going to react with the same species, they're going to form the same type of compounds and so forth. Now, there will be slight differences that are actually quite relevant. For example, the melting point of the substances, perhaps the boiling point will be slightly different. And very importantly, in what we call kinetics, which is an area that measures the speed at which a reaction takes place, the rate of a reaction, isotopes are actually used because heavier isotopes like carbon-13 and carbon-14 generally slow down the reactivity. Okay, so they can be kind of interesting to discover the reaction mechanism and so forth. Okay, so again, this is the definition of what an isotope is and how isotopes have different properties.